All right, here is this new project I'm working on. It's an AI assistant for coding, so creating websites, web apps, all from Airtable, an Airtable interface. So this is my first approach. There's still so much you can do with this. I'm only scratching the surface, but let's see if we can do a test here. So basically creating a new project, Coder Assistant Landing. Went ahead and created a prompt. Get a repository name for it, and then just gonna click create. And so then here's my dashboard where my project. Right now the status is not started. Here is the thing, you can make changes to it here. Logs, nothing's been really created here yet. We have project files, it's empty, diagnostics is empty, preview is empty. So let's get started. Let's click start project. So when you do that, it's going to basically start creating the necessary files necessary to create this Next.js app. So I'm using Next.js in order to use Vercel, which is a pretty nice and easy hosting for Next.js applications. And then I'm using ChatGPT or their API, in other words, to create all the files automatically, right? Here you can see we have a log, and it's giving you, it basically tells you everything that's currently doing. So basically you can see that it was creating the files, and it created all the necessary files. Now it's updating the CSS to match the component. So one of the things I was struggling with is getting the component to match the style of it, right? And why I don't just do it all in one file? Well, Airtable's automations scripts only have a 30-second limit, so you can only do so much. And so I just kept it separate. That way, it has enough time to finish the individual files. So basically, now it's going to run diagnostics. And so if we go right here, it's basically going to tell me if there's any issues before I can deploy. So it looks like the styles not imported. So you can go ahead and click that and take a look at how it looks. It looks good to me. Let's go look at components. Components did not import that. That's why. So we need to import that. So I'm just gonna go into another site I have here, go to my component, and just kind of copy that. Actually, I need to copy both of those. Go back to my here. So these are the little kinks that, because I'm using GPT 3.5, it's not the best. So sometimes it has errors. So for the most part, this looks okay. The index.js is there, package is there, things it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and click ready to deploy. So hopefully everything works okay and it's able to deploy on the first try. I've been really struggling getting that to deploy on the first try, just because there's so many things that happen. Like basically, like even if there's an issue with the style file, if it has because you're using style.module.css, it can't have any global selectors. So basically, you can't have like a global like if you're styling the paragraph, like you have to have a class for it to work. So if you see here, it went ahead and already created a GitHub repo, so you can click there, you can see it. Here is my Teal Coder Assistant repository. You can see it already created the Vercel project, and now it's just in the process of deploying that. So once it's deployed and everything's successfully, hopefully, we will basically be able to see this button show up, and then you'll be able to see a preview image of that website. So, so let's see how, hopefully it deploys. All right, so it looks like it failed. So I'm gonna pause this and see what the issue is, and then I'll start it up again. All right, so I think I fixed the issue. The api.js file didn't have the slashes here, and it kind of broke. So I fixed that, redeployed. The other video ran out of time, so Okay, so basically, let me just explain what happened after that deployment failed here. The API file here, which rarely gets used unless I do more complicated stuff, it was just showing up as not needed. Without the little slashes, it would break. So I added the slashes, and then I hit commit, and it basically will go ahead and commit, update the GitHub, and then it will automatically deploy again. After it deployed again, it redid the diagnostics, and it told me everything was good. And it basically said deployment successful on the deployment ID. So if I scroll down here, actually I get to see a preview of the site, and then I can actually click on preview site, and it'll take me there. So actually that came out pretty good. It kind of came out as I asked it, right? So I had asked for navigation with a hero title, paragraph, footer, navigation bar with those links. I don't like where they place the links, but you can actually fix those if you like. So the next thing you can do once you have this is you can go ahead and go to the file you want to update, right? So if I want to update the way this navbar looks, I'm actually going to go to the style, and I'm going to update and just tell it, please make the navbar items align to the right side of the screen. So let's see if that's enough, but I'm going to click recreate file, and basically what that's doing is just a follow-up prompt from the original prompt, and it's going to look at the code and on this new prompt, and it's going to make the necessary updates to do that. So hopefully it will work, but we'll see this in a second. Okay, it did something, and it's telling me that I have uncommitted changes. Let's just try it out. So I'm just gonna say made bar items to the right. So commit. So then you see it's committing, and then you can see here basically it's pushing a commit, and then it went ahead and committed, and now it's running diagnostics again, and we'll see what it says. Once GPT-4 API is available, this is going to be so much better, because GPT-3 sometimes still makes mistakes, or it just misses things. So the diagnostics sometimes is not the best. But the only problem though is that GPT-4 is going to be slower. So I'm going to run into more of the Airtable limitations of the 30-second script. So that's where, kind of wish we could use extensions on interfaces, so that you can, because extension script blocks don't have a limit. They can go on forever. So that's going to be a limitation. So we'll see what happens. So let's just give it a few more seconds for it to deploy. And hopefully nothing broke, and it still deploys successfully. Oh yeah, there we go, deploy successfully. If we scroll down, the image will be updated, and oh wow, there we go. It put in everything to the right. Let's preview, and yep, there they are. That looks pretty good. It doesn't have a title on the navbar, but we can definitely fix that. But yeah, right, so the idea is that you can then go here, update your component as you like, update the styles. Maybe if you want to do something more complex, you can add the API, and you can add some actual JavaScript here and make some more interesting things. But yeah, right. So basically, you can basically quickly start a website and deploy it from nothing to have a Git depository, have an environment set up, ready to go, with files ready to go, and then you can start playing around with your site. So everything's from Airtable. You can do everything here. You can commit from here. You can update everything from here. And yeah, one thing you could do is to also go to GPT-4, copy the code from there, paste it in your files here, and then you might have a much more complex solution as well.